Welcome to the Autism Parenting Podcast, brought to you by themomkind.com, where we strive to make autism parenting just a little bit easier. Hey everyone, and welcome to our second episode of the Autism Parenting Podcast. Today's episode, I'm actually going to be interviewing a wonderful gentleman named Harish Bickmall, who has started a company for his son and for other young adults on the autism spectrum to be able to share their artwork. This amazing company is called Genevieve, and I just can't wait to let you guys listen to his interview, but I want to give you a little bit of a backstory on why we are sharing this. Now, if you've ever been over to my website, you might have seen that I am very big on sharing companies and organizations that are making a difference in the employment rate for autistic adults. Now, as of right now, the unemployment rate of autistic adults is absolutely mind-blowing. It's right at 80% now. It's actually gone opposite direction of what it was even 10 years ago, actually. But yeah, and so that's a huge number, and it puts a big hindrance on our children entering the workforce. And, you know, as our children are young adults, getting those jobs, you know, that are already hard to get to begin with, you know, just in the workforce in general, but having, you know, the fact that they are autistic and have different needs, you know, those numbers are, it's just mind-blowing to me that even exists as a number with all the, quote, autism awareness that's out there. And I'm big on, one thing you'll hear from me often is we're very aware of autism. I think at this point in time, the world is very aware. What we need is not autism awareness. What we need is autism acceptance, you know, and embracing autism and other neurodiversities. And so I absolutely love sharing with my audience, sharing with you guys these amazing companies that are making a difference. And I'm not talking just about the big companies, and I'll absolutely share those as they come up. But what I'm loving now is these small businesses that are popping up, that their sole purpose is to help people on the spectrum find employment. Places like Popcorn for the People, they're an amazing one we interviewed recently. We had, The Light Side, Autism with a Twist of Humor. That's an amazing story there as well. And so just these companies that are small, that their sole purpose is helping autistic individuals as well as those with other special needs gain employment in amazing ways. And that is why I bring to you today Mr. Harish Bickmall of Genevieve. And he has two sons, one of which is on the spectrum, and his brother is just absolutely amazing. You'll hear that in the story too. But he, you know, has an amazing story, and it's just crazy to hear that, you know, what the doctor said at the beginning is so different from what the end result so far. And I say end result, but developing result, because he's still a young adult, he's still growing, life is still changing. And so without further ado, guys, let's get you started on this interview. All right, everybody. So today I have with me Mr. Harish Bickmall of Genevieve. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. And we're going to be talking about this great program he has going on. And so I'll just let him take it away. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about you, your family, everything going on there.
Sure. First, thank you very much, Alicia, for the opportunity to talk with you and your listeners.
Absolutely.
And as you said, I'm Harish Bickmall. I create basically solutions for people on the spectrum by using my years of experience in business and technology and my personal situation. A little bit about the family. My wife, Sandhya, and I have been married for about 25 years now. And we have two sons. Saket is the older one. He is 19 and is a freshman at college studying neuroscience. And he wants to pursue research on autism and other neurological conditions.
Oh, sounds like a good big brother.
And my younger son, Himal, he's 17 now and was diagnosed with autism. A little bit about my wife. She's a software analyst at a nonprofit, but she also became a BCABA after our son's diagnosis.
Wow.
We are lucky that she's able to homeschool him since early, and also run his programs and therapies, etc. And she also trains several parents around the country, and in fact around the world.
Oh, that's awesome.
And in fact, given that it was difficult for us to find art teachers for our son, she has also become a certified art teacher to help train him.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, that's my family.
Oh, awesome. So tell us a little bit more about your son's diagnosis. When did he receive his diagnosis?
Himal was diagnosed with autism at 2 years old in 2004. The doctor who evaluated him and the psychologist who evaluated him both told us that he's on the severe side of the spectrum and that he may never speak. And he may have to be in an institution by 5 or 6 kind of thing. It was that severe. And, he still has significant challenges with functional skills, living skills, communication, social. I mean, you can imagine the list. And his limited communication that he has is through sign language and an augmentative device. He has recently, after 15, he has developed a few words, not very well articulated, but he has developed a few words.
Awesome.
But he has learned to paint over the last 8 years, and it really helps him, and he enjoys it.
Absolutely. And that's awesome. And that's, just to show you that doctors don't know everything. It's still a learning thing for everybody that, it's all about just the dedication of parents. And like you said, your wife, taking those big steps there, and then you as well, and just taking the lead on that and kind of changing that path from what the doctor said to where you are now, which is.
That's right. Yeah. And as you absolutely said it so well, with the current system, I think it's totally almost left to the parents.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's jump right into Genevieve. I'm really excited to actually share that with our audience. Both we'll be doing this on the podcast as well as online, so we'll kind of show it everywhere for everybody. But tell us all about Genevieve.
Sure. Genevieve is basically a social enterprise, and with the goal to improve the self-esteem and secure a financial future for our artists impacted by autism. And, the end goal is to basically provide some hope to the families and going forward. And how do we do this is by promoting their art, and the artists earn a big part of the profits. I guess, in short, we can also say Genevieve exists to improve the lives of the artists with autism by giving them a platform to showcase their talent and benefit from it.
Absolutely. And that's absolutely amazing. And I've gotten the benefit of seeing some of the art here. And we'll put some more of that up on the webpage too, and some links to everybody so everybody can see it. But the artwork is absolutely amazing. I mean, I was, when I opened up the package you sent me, I was absolutely blown away. I really was. And, it's, I have 3 children on the spectrum, and my middle daughter is just absolutely all into art. And so it was very inspirational for me to be able to show her, like, look, this is what, other people on the spectrum, just a little older than you, have done, and what they're still progressing on. And, looking through the calendar, looking at through your son's work, actually, I was able to see kind of a progression with his art, which was beautiful. And just to see that progression from, what I could tell was more the beginning stages of this project towards more, current, and it was absolutely amazing. So tell me about I've obviously seen some of them. Tell our audience about some of the products that are offered at Genevieve.
Sure. I think I missed a part of your question earlier, if I may share that story as well.
Oh, go ahead.
Before, right? Obviously, as you can see, my son Himal was the inspiration to start Genevieve. And let me tell you a little bit of a story behind Genevieve, how it even came into existence. When he got his diagnosis, my wife and I were constantly worried about his future, especially his life when we are not there to take care of him. And I'm sure it's a worry for many, many parents out there, right? But like other parents, we struggle to do as many things as possible to him, put him through different therapies, treatments, etc. But when he was about 10 years old, keep in mind, at the time, he couldn't even hold a fork properly. But he began to paint. And since then, it's been a lot of hard work. His mother, teachers, therapists who have been tremendous in nurturing the talent and, providing us a glimmer of hope, I can say. And as he continued to paint, at one stage, we were really overwhelmed with a lot of his medical bills. He has quite a few gut and other issues. And there used to be no insurance coverage then. So we decided to hold a fundraiser. And he had about 50 paintings then. And when we announced it, over 100 people donated their art to the cause. Mm-hmm. We were so blown away by the support we felt. I mean, it was crazy to say it simply. And it deeply touched our hearts. And on the day of the fundraiser, we put the art in over 1,500 greeting cards, and they were sold in 2 hours. Wow. And in the next 6 hours, we sold about 130 of the 150 paintings. And this is where the idea of Genevieve came from, right? Because here there is a talent, and there are people who like to buy and support these people. So that's where the whole talent, that's where I got the inspiration and to help people on the spectrum share their talent, and as well as motivate the parents to nurture the talent of their children.
Absolutely. That's beautiful.
And and moving on to your next question about the products.
Yeah, about the products. Tell us about all the products that are some of the products that are available.
Sure. We primarily sell 2 kinds of products, Alicia. One is we sell high-quality reprints of the artwork and sell them primarily to corporations, hospitals, and individuals. And these are museum-quality prints. And actually, they're produced by a company who does it for the Smithsonian Museum in D.C.
Wow.
And in addition to the prints, we also put art onto various products, such as calendars, greeting cards, totes, mugs, large magnets, to name a few. We are also coming up with a few notebooks and things like that pretty soon. We do this, and we also sell originals, but to a lesser extent. And the idea of doing this way is that the artist can earn over and over again with the sale of each print or product, right? If they sell only originals, it's sold and one time and gone. So this way they can have a recurring income.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So tell us who is eligible for Genevieve. So, and once they are eligible, how can they submit art to Genevieve?
Sure. Any individual with a diagnosis of autism, or we are also accepting people with other disabilities, whether it's physical, neurological, developmental, or even, we have one artist who has a disability from his days in the military, are all welcome to apply.
Awesome.
And our mission is to basically empower these artists, right, by providing them a means to earn income. So we keep the process very simple. One can send us an email at support@genevieve.com with a background on the individual, maybe 2 to 3 paragraphs, and a few pictures, maybe 3 to 4 pictures of their artwork. Even just a pictures taken by cell phone would be good enough. And then what we do is we just do see whether the artist is a good fit, In fact, I would say if Genevieve is a good fit for the applicant, and whether their artwork would fit Genevieve's clients. And then we are off to the races.
Awesome. And then currently, how many artists do you support, and where do you kind of see that going?
Right. I mean, we currently are supporting 11 artists, and there are a few waiting to come on board. And we have, you asked about the percentage, right? About what goes back to the artist.
Yeah.
We have structured Genevieve in such a way that we can maximize the income for the artist. So currently about 66% of the profits from the sale of their art goes back to each individual. And again, keep in mind, these are sales from the prints. So it's an ongoing thing.
Awesome.
And I would like to add one point, right? I mean, since Genevieve started, a few artists and mostly the parents have said that the income they're earning is helping them, although we are very small and a startup, it's helping them with their medical treatments such as art therapy, speech therapy, and several other things. And some of them have been useful for them to save it, which is one of our goals to help them build a financial future. But, overall, it's gratifying to hear the parents say that they see their children excited about the prospects and, happy most of the time and wanting to create more of these. So that's the hope that we would like to see.
That's so awesome. And so as of now, because I'm sure we're going to kind of expand this some more, hopefully, as we further your view for everybody. But as of right now, who is purchasing art from Genevieve?
Primarily, it's been organizations and individuals from the U.S., but we have had support from several individuals and a couple of businesses in other countries as well, and which was really very good to see at this early stage. As for the organizations, we have been truly blessed, to have companies such as the Washington Post, Freddie Mac, Johns Hopkins Medicine, Jefferson Hotel in DC, and in fact, Four Seasons Hotels in DC as well. To see them believe in our mission and support our artists has been, cannot thank them enough for their support. And last April, we had the opportunity to partner with Freddie Mac and host a week-long autism art show, as you know, April being the Autism Awareness Month. And, that really helps spread the word about the talent of these people. And after seeing the artwork during that week, at least 6 families have written to me that they have started training their kids either in art or music. And I'm not sure, there is anything else that gives me more pleasure than hearing such things.
Oh, absolutely. Knowing that you've become an inspiration and helping other families this is amazing. Absolutely.
Right. And, this April, we are doing it again, this time with the World Bank in DC.
Oh, awesome. Well, you were interviewed with the Center of Social Impact Strategy recently, and there was something you said that, really spoke to me. Now, I've mentioned this to you before, but you said you wanted to help parents be proud of what kids have as opposed to be tired of their disabilities. First, thank you for saying that. I think that is absolutely amazing. I think more parents need to, hear that and say that. But from there, what I do want to ask you is, what other pieces of advice do you have or your outcomes you would like to see from parents with autistic children and other special needs?
First, let me thank you, Alicia, for the observation. And I'm so glad, you felt it that way and it is appealed to you. And I'm sure, with the kind of influence and the listeners and the followers you have, you can probably pass that inspiration to many people and impact many, many lives. Thank you for that, Alicia. the message that I would have is, we all as parents of people, with impacted by autism are under constant stress, and we face a never-ending stream of struggles, right? Facing one challenge or the other each day. And as a result, it becomes very hard to see things in our children in a very different light, right? Looking at them from a different angle. But based on my personal experience as a parent and having seen many hundreds of other parents, I would like to say that, and that there is a possibility, a very strong possibility, that there is a talent or intelligence or strengths or something in your child that may have yet to be discovered, right? So please try to identify and nurture that talent. I will also like to add from my experience that, we have not seen any tools that can pinpoint the talent, but have generally seen that parents have a hunch that, that their son or daughter have some talent or some strength, right? So please try out a few things and nurture the talent. And, if you don't see that the child is making progress in one, move on to the next. For example, we tried basketball. My son would almost shoot 10 out of 10, but would never get the rules. And obviously, as you can imagine, he wants the ball all the time, right? So, then we moved on to baseball. That didn't work. We tried swimming. That didn't work. We found art. So please don't give up. Try something, keep trying things. And a word of, again, from my experiences, it's not going to be easy. And it's going to be a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifices of different kinds. So work with passion, be patient, and persist. Right? I think parents will be very pleasantly surprised. I have seen many of our kids become very good either in visual arts, music, sports, and through this identification, training, and nurturing. And, the parents had to go through a lot to make this happen, but every parent will tell you that it's been amazingly rewarding.
Yes, and absolutely worth it. Every minute of it in the end is worth it, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, awesome. I couldn't have better said it myself. I completely agree with you 110% on there. I think that we all know, I told you earlier, my 11-year-old, she loves art. My 12-year-old, not so much, but she loves to read. And so one of the things that we have encouraged instead of reading is nurturing her writing.
Absolutely.
And to those skills, right?
And to that point, I will tell you something. My son, we have been working on his handwriting for almost 10 years at least, I would say. And to then that helps with his fine motor skills. And this past Christmas, he wrote over 150 greeting cards for other people. That's
amazing. I don't know if I could do
it. Oh, even me too, but he loved doing that. He loved doing that. Imagine something that kind of a service a kid could provide to others.
Absolutely. And who doesn't like receiving a Christmas card? Come on.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, back to Genevieve here for a little bit. I'd like to know, where do you see Genevieve in 5 years?
First, I would like to say, I would like to see at least thousands of our kids flourishing and growing in their areas of strength, and see their families are much better off. And the other thing that I would love to see is the world in general recognizes this talent and is more accepting of these individuals, not just being aware about these individuals, but being more accepting of these individuals, right? So that the families can be more integrated with the community. As for Genevieve in particular, I basically see it as a vehicle to bring this amazing talent to the world and making it happen. And I expect to be able to support a few thousand artists in the next 5 years.
That would be absolutely amazing. I'd love to see that. And I will be watching your story the entire way to make sure you get there.
Thank you for the support, Alicia.
Awesome. Well, let's take the conversation back a little bit to being a father. So what has been the most rewarding aspect of parenting your boys? You know, you have one son on the spectrum, one not, who obviously sounds like an amazing big brother. So definitely, what has been the most rewarding part of that?
No, I think it's a good question, and I'll tell you why in a second. You know, in general, the parenting is rewarding in many ways, but parenting my two boys has made our family what it is today, and most importantly, and given us a sense of purpose in life, right? The purpose being to make a difference for our kids and the world in general. Regarding my younger son, parenting my younger one, Himal, there's been nothing like seeing his growth and progress. And as a result, you know, we feel a lot more hopeful. If we think of his diagnosis and that he may have to live in an institution and not with the family, to a person who has some level of self-confidence, and as a family who have some hope for him that he can do something when we are gone. You know, when he sees his artwork displayed at different places, the smile on his face is simply priceless. I mean, I just cannot even put any number on it, right? And the sense of accomplishment in him, right? I mean, these all contribute to our sense of purpose in life. As for Saket, the older one, he matured very early on in life, and you know, he would shower when he was 6. Actually, he would shower his younger brother, feed him, and put him to bed. And the younger one was 4 then. While doing all this, some elements of a childhood have been taken away from him, I would say, but he has developed a very fine young man with passion to make a difference, right? And he's passionate about researching autism and developing solutions to help them in many ways. In fact, he's designing a device currently that will help detect pain in kids with autism who cannot communicate, and then communicate the pain to the parents or the doctors.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and importantly, I think he's the best friend Himala's got. He's his friend, teacher, advocate for his brother. But one thing I really love when Saket, the older one, says that, in fact, Himal has taught him many lessons in life. I mean, as a parent, seeing such growth in the younger one and the maturity in the older one, you can imagine, how rewarding it is. And most importantly, all this giving us a sense of purpose in life.
Absolutely. That's just amazing. Yeah. And I don't, my kids are a little bit younger, but I've seen the same type of relationship. Though they both have autism, they're definitely different, very different levels, very different children. And I've seen that, that almost 2-year difference between my girls, and watching that same type of dynamic. And it is amazing to see. And, they're still kids. They still get to be kids. But like you said, they mature faster in certain aspects. And it's just amazing to watch them develop into the young people that they are. And it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm right there with you.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you would like to tell our listeners? And then definitely tell us where we can go to support you guys as NME.
Sure. If there is anything, I'd like to reiterate what I mentioned earlier, Alicia. That is, I would encourage every parent, look for that spark in our talent or strength that may be hidden, but you will find it. As a parent, you have so much of hunch, you know so much about your children. Definitely identify that and work with passion to build on that and nurture that. While it is easier said than done for me, It is very, very possible. Many parents and kids are demonstrating it now. And again, I'll definitely say that several sacrifices will have to be made, but it is probably very, very rewarding at the end of the day. So pursue their strengths. To support Genevieve, one, I would say, please spread the word about the amazing talent of our kids, because that is exactly what will improve acceptance of people with autism, right? Because when they understand our kids' talent, that understanding will lead to acceptance. And second point, I would say, please check out the website, genevieve.com. And of course, support the artist buying art or products. And or maybe, next set of greeting cards, you could start with that. Other thing I would say is if you can direct your employers for their needs for art, that would be great. In addition to parents, the art of these kids has been tremendously inspiring to employers. And they have told us that as a result of this, the employees are asking for, why not we form an employee resource group for autism? Why not we hire people with autism? So you can make a big impact by doing, reaching out to your employers as well. And in the process, definitely you'll support Genevieve artists, but more importantly, support all the kids on the spectrum.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we will let everybody know in the show notes also exactly how to get there and kind of follow up. And I want to show everybody some of these amazing images as well. So once again, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much, Alicia, for the opportunity and, hopefully providing inspiration to a few.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, guys. So that wraps up our interview with Mr. Bickmall of Genevieve. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I absolutely love speaking to Harish and hearing the story of his son and these other artists that are at Genevieve and the stories that that's still growing. It's amazing truly to see the pictures from Himal's first paintings towards the current paintings, and it's just amazing to see the growth and just to show you that it doesn't matter what a doctor says. They told him, they told their family that, he would need to be institutionalized and all this stuff. And yes, Himal doesn't speak, verbally, but he does speak, through his art. He speaks through devices, things like that. And just with the encouragement of his family, his mother's dedication, his father's dedication, his brother's dedication, he has absolutely blossomed, and his art speaks more than I think words ever could. And that is the beauty of our children and embracing them and, not just being aware of their autism, but accepting them and accepting them for who they are and then encouraging them for who they are. And that can just make huge differences in your children's life. So I absolutely encourage you guys to check out Genevieve.com. That is Zenaviv.com. You can also check it out in the show notes. It's going to be the momkind.com/Genevieve, where I'm going to show you guys some of this beautiful artwork that they have sent over from Himal's first paintings towards the last, which are just all inspiring to see the difference that encouragement makes. And just, guys, make sure that you guys support this great organization. I want to see them thrive. I want to see even more artists go to them. If you guys know of, you have an autistic person in your life that's got artwork that wants you to submit to Genevieve, do it. They will absolutely check out your artwork, see if they're a good fit for your child. And yeah, guys, I'm just so excited about this one. I can't wait to share more stories like these with you in the future. Make sure you guys check out those show notes so you can check out this amazing website, and we will see you next time.